just puts on a bonnet.
Dude.
James
Just puts on a bonnet. You fucked me. Hold on.
Go ahead. James.
Just puts
on.
Just puts on a bonnet.
Bonnet.
Oh man, you guys had to be there for that. That was like a 45-minute. That was the punchline to like a 45-minute bit that Kib and I were on a roll about, and we forgot we weren't rolling.
We forgot we were rolling. And I'm looking real sweaty somehow.
I just showered and I put lotion on, and I feel like I look greasy on account of the fact of the lotion.
And it's so good golly goddamn hot in this goddamn bitch of a world right now, man.
Well, for you,
California.
not for me.
For you as well. You're not in the fucking valley anymore, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. Is it so nice there? Still smoking, though. Dying in every way.
Get off your fucking self-righteousness.
I'm not being self-righteous. I'm
quit vaping a month ago. You're dying. You're dying by doing that, and I'm better than you.
I never said that. I want to encourage my friend to not die.
This one's hard for me to breathe.
Yeah, because you're dying, dude. You're literally killing your fucking lung cells.
In the same way that this was the truth for you and the truth for Steve, because I know that Steve stopped vaping too. You have to make the decision yourself to stop vaping.
I'll make it for you, bro. It's so easy.
No, you can't make it for me. I got to make it for myself. And trust me when I tell you, truly I tell you, I have already made that decision.
What do you tell me? What do you tell me?
I'm going to quit vaping.
Awesome. Throw that bitch in the garbage, bro.
Nah.
All right, fair enough. Maybe I'll start
Not right now.
Maybe I'll start.
Yeah, it's up to you. Either way, man. But honestly, I just want to say welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you, man. It's been a minute.
I've been watching. I've been commenting. I've been trying to get back on here as a guest for
big fan.
Really
You're a big
now.
fan. You're one of our biggest fans, dude. Like in size.
James.
You're like 8 feet tall, 600 pounds life.
They wouldn't let me in the NBA, but I definitely tried out.
But you definitely could wreck in the NBA, dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not like, you know,
not as a
more
player,
like the D League, maybe if you were lucky. If
The
you'd be on the bench in the D League, and then they would, you'd be the fluffer, dude. Dude.
This is way too graphic.
Hold on.
Oh, yuck. Oh. James,
like he's already hard. He's already hard in his pants, but this way, like completely horizontally hard.
Hang on. And that's how I do it.
We're gonna have a great show for you tonight.
Those of you who are audio listeners, that was actually James pantomiming or just miming?
Miming. Pantomimio.
Unzipping a pants.
Unzipping a pant.
Unzipping a pants and pulling out a penises.
No, I didn't pull it out. I didn't pull it out.
You're right. You left it.
It was inside the pant, and I grabbed it to let him know.
Yeah,
I got you right where I want you.
Okay.
And I squeeze, and then I go, anaconda squeeze.
Anaconda squeeze.
Just to let him know.
Let him know what, man?
Just let him know that I got him right where I want him, dude.
Anyways.
What were we talking about?
Oh. And then he puts on a bonnet.
Right. Yeah. That was better in the moment. Before the podcast. And I'm really sorry you guys missed out on that, because that was something.
That nugget of gold, man. That
was for sure something.
That sweetheart of a bit, yeah.
Oh, man, I just want to say, I mean, it's episode 199.
Unbelievable.
And we already know today's going to be a landmark episode, but, you know, next week is going to be a landmark banger of an episode. You want to let them know why?
It's episode 200, you guys. And that means we're getting the goddamn gang back together, goddamn it. Mm-hmm. That's Steven Suptic. That's Autumn Farrell. On the podcast, and it'll come out on Wednesday.
Next week,
Wednesday. Episode 200, bro. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have a lot to talk about, a lot of catching up to do, man. Everybody's lives have really taken
It's going to be at least a 45-minute episode.
Yeah. Everybody's lives have taken a dark, dark turn.
And we're going to get into it like a true crime podcast. Oh my God, dude. We should. Never mind.
I want to start a seafood podcast called the True Crabs Podcast or something like that.
Yeah, every week we have a different crab on. They tell me what it's like to be a little crab underwater. You know, you go under the rock, you find a little fish, and you go, "You fucking mind, bitch.
Give me that fish.
Give me that." To the fish, it says, "Hey, fish, give me that fish."
Give me that fish.
Dude, it just calls out everything it's doing. Oh fuck, I'm looking around, man. I'm looking around. Give me that fish.
Eating you.
Eating you. Eating you. Eating you.
Eating you. Eating you.
Oh fuck, dude, I'm actually really warm right now. I think it's just because I'm nervous.
You are nervous, man. It's hot in fucking California right now, man. It's 79 degrees outside right now, but my room
79 degrees. Such a mild temperature. Such a pleasant temperature.
79 is not pleasant.
That's 1 degree. Pleasant. You're right. And I'm sorry. That's 79.
Yes, I'm right. Stand down.
Hey. How are your teeth?
They're doing great, man.
You still have pain?
Fucked it still. Oh, yeah, dude. These aligners, this is week 3 I've got in right now. Holy sweet fuck. It's so goddamn painful. Fuck. But it's working.
Is it the pressure that's painful, or is it the lacerations in your wisdom teeth holes?
No, it's the pressure now because I've realized I could simply cut off the back end and file it down. So that's perfect. Okay.
A lot of work to do, man. You actually made your own. You made your own Invisaligners.
I made this out of gum and tree sap. Believe
this is made out of those plastic containers for anything electronic that are impossible to open, where where you're guaranteed to cut yourself while you're trying to open it. I just got a lot of those and I made a mold out of my mouth. What I did was get a lot of it and I made it wet and I went.
I bit into a mole and then I took the impressions. It was a live mole, like the animal, and it had my teeth impressions. And I poured candle wax, hot candle wax, into the wounds, the moles.
To seal them up.
Yeah, to seal them up. And then when they hardened, I had a whole model of my teeth, and I realized, well, I need the mold, not the actual 3D model of my teeth.
Right.
So that was pointless. What I then did is...
so I got the mole, and I threw it against the wall.
I fucking started beating it. I said, stop complaining.
And it did.
And it died.
And it died. So.
And it died. Yeah.
So then I got Invisaligners.
And then I got bite clear liners.
So tell me, something happened to you apparently, right?
Yeah, I got into a car accident.
A fender bender?
A fender bender.
Or a full-on car accident?
Fender bender. Very slow-moving fender bender.
Minor.
Very stupid situation.
Minor accident.
Pretty big damages.
To your car?
Damages to their car and scratches to mine because my new car Nana, my Audi A3, bought it, is, it's an impenetrable force.
German engineering.
Terminator engineering, exactly.
It's a mimetic polyalloy, which of course means liquid metal.
Metaphorically speaking, you're right. The back of the car, I was actually parked at a parking lot of Petco, right? And I'm in a parking space. And
nice.
Behind me, in the way that you would, turn out to go left or right, someone was stopped with just their fucking, back 2 feet of their car behind my car so that I couldn't see them. So when I looked over my right shoulder, I looked out of the back window, I saw no car.
You didn't check your mirrors?
I did check my mirrors, but they were in my blind spot. I then started backing out slowly. And then, gunk, and I looked back again, and I still couldn't see anything. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And now I'm mad.
Right.
And now I get out, and I'm like, what is this car? What is this Mercedes-Benz doing right behind me?
Crashed into me.
They're not.
What is this car doing crashed into me?
What am I doing? They were not in a fucking spot. They weren't parked. They were stopped there in my blind spot.
Like stopped as in
parking because they wanted someone ran out of the car to go into the fucking Petco or whatever, and they were too lazy to fucking park.
Right.
So they were not only blocking all the other traffic who would need to get by them and shit, but I ran into you.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's
and they
my
weren't
fault.
even. They weren't only waiting in the parking lot. I ran into you.
I unfortunately ran into them, and it was just these two fucking idiot bitches. These two idiot. They were.
Paint me a picture. Paint me a fucking picture,
Okay.
dude.
They
In detail.
were.
How old
They
were
were
they?
in the, probably 30. These two fucking fucking bitches, bro. Two of them. What?
That sounded very derivative of something racist.
Oh, no. I'm just saying they were like yapping.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
There was no racial
Right.
injection there at all. It
Sure.
was truly just
Inflection.
yapping. Yeah, there was no racial inflection or injection.
There's no racial injection.
I didn't inject what I was doing there with any racism.
Oh, fuck. I'm so full from McDonald's. Keep going.
Listen to me, bitch. So they were fucking.
They were fucking.
They were so goddamn immature. Give me a goddamn second.
Come on, man. I'm just enjoying the story. I'm adding
All
my own
right.
commentary. It's like,
Yeah, you
You
are,
know.
man. Start your own podcast.
yeah.
Your podcast is to be a part of this podcast, but you're recording your own audio and it's just your perspective.
But I'm also on this podcast.
At the same time. So these fucking idiot bitches.
Right.
And now I don't refer to women as bitches often, but I do in this circumstance. And if they were boys, I would call them bitches too. Or if they were they or them, I would call them bitches. It was just these people acting like this are
Right.
bitches.
That's understandable. I appreciate you clarifying.
Just fucking yapping off. And
To you?
I'm trying to keep my cool. Yeah. I'm
Like
trying
they
to
were-
keep my
they were
cool.
livid?
I'm like, what are you doing here? Because I'm pissed. I'm like, this is stupid. Where you are is stupid. This is so fucking stupid. And I'm trying to keep my cool. And I'm getting mad.
And what
because they're like,
were they saying, though?
You should have looked behind. You should have fucking looked behind. This is your fault. This is only your fault. You should look behind. I'm like, I did look behind me. You were in my blind spot, and you can't park here. This is not a parking space. Where you were is not a parking space. You were little fucking ass of your car was in my blind spot. You were completely in my blind spot. I couldn't see you. And you were stopped, not even parked, stopped behind me while someone was in the store. Does that set you're blocking traffic and I hit you? My fault. The problem
That's
is,
how you end it.
the problem is the dent was like this big in their fucking back right bumper.
Right.
Mine just pushed it in, and a little bit of scratching, but not
Easily.
much. And then I believe the owner of the car came out because he must have like owned a business nearby. I believe they were Armenian because they all reminded me of Eddie, our landlord. Exactly. And by I believe they were Armenian.
Okay.
So, imagine Eddie, James.
I know Eddie.
Imagine, and Eddie comes out, younger, a little quicker, comes out, and he's pissed, and now he's blah, blah, blah. And they were like hesitant. He's like, give me the insurance. And of course, I didn't have my insurance.
Of course, I don't have insurance.
Of course, I didn't switch my insurance from my old car to my new car yet. So let me first say, yes, it is legally my fault. And it is my fault.
And you were negligent for not having your insurance.
Right. But I mean, my insurance would still cover it because I'm still paying for insurance. I just didn't switch it from my more expensive car to my other car. So I'd be fine either way. But but they should take some responsibility. I remember being like, all right, the adult thing here, I was like, you're not going to take any responsibility for what you did in this situation? I was like, the adult, and she's just yapping off and not letting me talk. I'm like, hold on. I was like, the adult mature thing here is to both take some responsibility for what happened. I will not take a 100% of it. My car is damaged because your dumbass is down here. So now my car's damaged too. And then the guy, when he was out, he's like, well, I don't care about your car. I was like, well, then I don't care about your car. How does that feel? Oh, let's
Easily.
be humans. Let's care. Let's calm. Let's take some responsibility and let's figure out what we want to do here. I was like, he's like, get the insurance. I was like, here's the thing. If we get insurance, both of our insurance are going to go up because my car's going to get fixed and your car's going to get fixed.
You're
I
trying
was
to
like,
fucking
both of our
scam him?
insurance is going to go up. No. Actually, I paid more to them than I should have. In the end, I spoiled it. So he's they're like, yeah. Just fucking, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Just fucking, they really thought about it when I said both our insurance is going to go up. And then they were hesitant to give their license, stuff like that. I was like, they're like, here, give me yours. They took mine, fucking took pictures. Like, can we get yours? And they were like talking, and we couldn't understand what they were saying. And they were really hesitant to give it to him. I'm like, give me your fucking license, bitch. And I didn't say any of that, but I was pissed.
Right.
I said to him, bitch, give me your license. And he didn't do that. But then eventually, he didn't have his license, the car owner, but the woman who was driving did and gave her license finally. And then we exchanged phone numbers, took pictures, and I said, we'll figure this out. Let's get a quote from a garage, and I will, if I can afford to pay it, I will pay for your thing because...
And if I can't, I'm sorry.
I called someone, we got some advice saying that, like, because it was private property specifically, it doesn't matter that they were, you know, not in their spot and fucking, like, any of the fault that they may have, it doesn't matter.
Because it wasn't on a street.
Right. Or any public property, which would have been street, yeah. Yeah, if like I had been like backing out of a driveway and they were overhanging or something, but because it was private property, my moving vehicle into their not moving vehicle puts me at fault likely, no matter what. So I swallowed that pill and I said, great, I just want to be done with this. I got a quote from some online company and it was like $375 for the dent and the paint with all the pictures. I was like, this is amazing. And I texted them and they were really fucking difficult. First they said, I was like, hi, I'm Clay. I'm the guy from the parking lot. You know, I'm trying to figure out how we can fix your car here. And he goes, excuse me, comma? Wait, what does he say? It was really fucking funny. He says to me, he ended up being...
What he says?
Excuse me, comma, I know you.
Well, fuck.
Hi there,
What next?
Is Clayton. This is Clayton from the Petco parking lot the other day. I got a quote for the dent, and I'm still looking for others at the moment. Excuse me, I know you. Is all he said. And then I replied, I'm not sure what you mean. I have no idea.
Simply to the point where you couldn't even like assess that statement in any way on your own. You talked to friends about it. You talked to everyone you could about it. No one knew what that meant. So you had no other choice but to ask him to clarify.
Because what does he go? Like, excuse me, I know you. Like, was that what that meant?
I think like my only like understanding of that is him like having maybe already saved your number.
He doesn't. He didn't have my number. He didn't have.
Okay,
any
then
of
that
my
makes
contacts.
no sense because the only thing I can think of is like if he already had your number saved
like,
and you
dumbass,
introduced
like,
yourself in the text, him just like getting pissed at that. The fact that you introduced yourself again. Excuse me, but I know you already.
No.
That makes no sense, man.
He knows me from the parking lot, which I acknowledged because this was the first time we'd gotten each other's numbers. I got his number and text him for the first time.
Right.
So I had to introduce who this random number was. Excuse me, I know you. And I said, I'm not sure what you mean. Period.
What the fuck?
That's so stupid.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck are you talking about, man?
That was exactly what it meant. I'm not sure what you mean, period. And then he didn't reply. So 2 hours later, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to resolve the issue with your dented bumper. Okay, call you 3 p.m. Okay. All 3 different texts.
Okay.
So this is also a little bit of insight as to the fact that there was some difficulty when, you know, maybe their communications like this could be a language barrier or whatever, but then they're also hot and being bitches. You know what I mean? Like this guy was being a big bitch. And then he also just blah, 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 just fucking saying nonsense because he's just like, your fault, your fault. And then I said, yeah, that works. And then he's like, he didn't call me when he said he was going to call me. He quoted me 800 to 1,000. And I was like,
wrong.
Well, I was like, hi, I can call you back in a minute. I got a quote for 375 to fix the dent and the paint scratches. So I can book that ASAP. And they can come to you if you'd like. They would just come to him, fix the car, wham, bam, thank you, man. Who's going to love the family I am?
Yep.
And then he goes, I don't want to fix my car to any body shop, but best I can do, give me $500. Best I can do, give me $500. I can put the rest on it and fix it. I said, I understand that. I can send you the $500 via Venmo if you'd like. Okay, perfect. Boom, sent it to him. And then he's like, no problem. Thank you so much. To some other shit I said. I was like, thanks for your patience. Sorry about this. And now I have a paper trail of, you cannot come for me. You cannot come inside me any longer.
Sure. Man,
right.
You really folded there with that negotiation.
Well, I wanted to be done with it.
No, I totally feel you. I'm playing with you.
Because he could have said,
I agree.
no, I want this fixed at this body shop or I'm going to insurance. And I just wanted to be fucking done with it. I sent him $500. Wham, bam, it's done. Now I don't have to think about this anymore.
Totally.
It was stressing me.
Man, what a shitty situation.
Yeah, it happened like 4 days ago.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah,
So you just paid him today?
Just paid him, yeah, literally 3 hours ago. And I was like, go fuck yourself. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
Yeah, you didn't say
I was really nice. I was like, thank you for your patience. I'm really sorry about this. And then he was really nice.
Yeah.
It turns out to be, if you're nice to someone, they'll be nice to you, even if they're
Sometimes.
seeming like they're not going to be nice.
Sometimes.
True. You don't, if you're nice
You
to
never
him, it
know.
doesn't matter. He'll be mean to you no matter what.
Yeah, you never know. Man, that reminds me of like...
an email. Nothing. What were you saying?
Oh, man. Wow, that was crazy. Speaking of crazy, I think I'm finally able to talk about someone. Speaking of crazy.
Who? Your neighbor?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying.
Okay.
Keep all this in.
Speaking of crazy.
It's your neighbor, isn't it?
We're going to talk about my crazy ex-neighbor, dude.
Fuck yeah.
So, a little backstory here. I used to have a
cool.
crazy...
I gave him your address.
Crazy fucking neighbor, man. Crazy fucking neighbor. This guy...
Just a lunatic.
Like, max out fucking crazy.
Max level fucking security.
No eyes, no ears, no mouth, only a nose. That's all this guy was.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, he used to always ask me for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Does he have a British, or not British, like a fucking
A British accent? A what accent? Does he have a British accent? No, that'd be dope, dude. I'd have been friends with him.
Can I talk for you for a second?
You mind if I fucking talk to you for a second? Yeah? I think someone's been rooting out in my trash.
So we got to give a little context here, because this is definitely something that we've danced around, and people probably have no idea.
A couple of times,
loosely.
yeah.
So
very loosely, barely anything. Okay, so check this out. Obviously,
we got
my
some
last
stories.
house I lived at for 3.5 years, right? So my next door neighbor, one of my next door neighbors, was a very troubled man. He was a troubled man. And
He's fucking wild, man.
Fucking wild man. This guy, like, and here's why I'm going to talk about it. I know that the guy has mental issues. I recognize that.
Sure.
But there comes a point where that infringes upon your life, and it affects you and your life in ways that shouldn't be. I feel for the guy and his issues and the fact that he clearly has no support system or people to take care of him. Well, he does, kind of. But at the same time, I don't want that in my life.
Yeah.
I don't want that next door to me. I don't want his actions and words to affect my life, to spill over into my home and my life. Period.
Yeah, and let me also add to your beginning of this so people can get an idea, because you don't want them to think it's just like that, oh, he's got mental illness, poor you. It's no, this man's actually also dangerous to himself and everyone around him, actually. And yeah, so some of these stories, the one story that I have that is wild, I'll tell whenever James is ready for my little interjection. But there will be a bit of a trigger warning with certain topics.
Yeah. So I'll just give you kind of a run through of some things. And in the past year, his actions, I can't tell if they've actually gotten worse or if it's just since I've been home because of COVID that I've noticed them more often.
Notice it more.
Which could be it could be that, but at the same time, I mean, even before COVID, I was at home because we didn't have a job. So
I think he just throws in the odd banger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
He just throws.
So
I'll
start at the end. I'll start. He throws bags of shit at the wall. That's what he does.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'll start at the end. So Lauren and I got back from Hawaii a few weeks ago. And
Oahu.
Kauai. And
Hawaii.
we get in late. We drive up. We flew into San Diego. We drove back up to LA pretty late. And we go inside. 10 minutes after we get inside, he storms outside of his house in a rage. Like in a fucking rage.
Yeah.
He was gurgling, dude. He was spilling out of his bra. I mean, this guy's got fucking cans, man. I'm telling you.
He literally walks out.
And just fucking spews up a larva. A fucking alien larva, dude.
Finally.
And I'm better now. So he fucking comes outside and he starts just like, yeah, You want to fuck with me? I'll fucking take you out, son. I'll fucking kill you, you motherfucker.
Was he talking to you?
He was talking to nothing.
I'm not trying to laugh. It's just, unfortunately, there is humor to hearing all this shit happen for the past years.
You become jaded to it. In all honesty, in pure honesty, you become jaded. You become jaded from it, and you can only anyone who's listening or watching, if you've ever dealt with a housemate or a neighbor or a family member even who, yes, has mental illness, but you deal with them for so long, you become jaded to the empathy of that, right? Which isn't a good thing. I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but it's a fact and it happens. Especially when you're living in it, you don't give a fuck. You're like, shut the living fuck up.
Yeah.
You fucking...
And it's not... The things that are funny about this are not, haha, he has a mental disability and what he's saying is random. It's like, this is so not... This is just so bizarre.
It's so bizarre, and it's so surreal, like, and there is humor in it because it's like when shit like that's happening.
What is happening?
I go to my little side window, and I'm like peeking out the window, like watching him through a bush, just fucking going crazy. And like, he it's truly like... I can tell when he's off his meds, you know? And it sucks that he doesn't have a support system that can hold him accountable. But like what I think it was like his father or something bought that house and gave it to him and just like, okay, I'm done with you now, you know? And that sucks. But like I said, at the same time, because I have to put myself and my family and, you know, myself and Lauren and you as my number one priority.
Right.
Is protecting us. Right. You and me.
You, me and Lauren.
Over the patience that I might have for this individual. Yeah. Because the patience at the end there were very, very thin.
The empathy's still there. It's just,
obviously the empathy's there. You can have empathy and still be critical of a situation. Yeah. You know? And like at the end of the day, it's not just, you know, this guy has issues. It's that this guy became hostile and volatile and threatening, and it made me, the direct next door neighbor to him, my other neighbors on the other side of me, the neighbors on the other side of them, and the neighbors on the other side of him, we were all in a group chat together, like uncomfortable about all this. And the people next to me had two fucking little girls, dude, like 10 and 8, and they would always play with Vinny, and we'd be out front like playing with them, and he would come outside and shit.
Boom,
you know
boom, 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 boom.
And just be fucking banging his fucking bongos, dude.
Banging his drums, dude.
So, like I said, I'll start at the end here. So he's out there going nuts and also just nonstop banging his screen door, like his metal screen door. Just like fucking like...
So, like that's something that would happen in The Office. That's why I laugh, because like immediately my brain goes to like, that's a bit from The Office.
That's real life, dog.
Person doing that. You know what I mean?
And so it started from, I texted my other neighbor about it, and I was like, it was late too. It was like 2 a.m, and I was like, hey, I know it's late, but I don't know if you're hearing this right now. And he texted me back the next morning, and he was like, hey man, sorry that you had to come home to that. He's been doing that for the past like couple weeks, consistently. And then he was like, I don't know if he's having a hard time or if he missed you guys. Which is like...
Yeah, so it seems like... I don't think that's bad, because, again, it seems
No,
like,
it's not bad. It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
There is still humor in it. And, like, there's humor in this world, and that's how people deal with things. Like...
100%. And so, so that continued, basically. Like, the first few days back, it was that at night only. But when I say at night, I'm like 11 o'clock till like 3 a.m. in increments. For that entire time, him coming in and out and doing that, and then getting in his car and speeding off recklessly, and then coming back and like speeding into his own driveway. And then it started to bleed into the day where he was doing this all day. And then our other neighbors down the street called the cops on him 3 times in 2 days, just to like let him know, like, what you're doing is being heard and is making people uncomfortable. And then he kind of toned it down. He stayed inside. So part of me is thinking like, and this is kind of becoming a conversation of like, you know, we feel for the guy, right? And like at the end of the day, it sucks that we have to like deal with this, but at the end of the day, he is a human being and he is in a situation that he can't control, right? So like also by calling the police, it's for them to check up on him, right? Because with somebody like that, as fucked up as this might sound, you don't want that person in your life, or you don't want them to, for any reason, feel dependent on you. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to open that up for them, because then like that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So that was all happening. And then before that, probably like 5 or 6 months ago, he was arrested for walking around our neighborhood, yours included, with a fucking airsoft gun, like AR airsoft gun that looked real. It looked like a fucking AR.
Wow.
Walking around the neighborhood. That's what's fucking dangerous about this. And shit like that is where I cross the line and I say, to an extent, okay, my empathy is no longer there for you. You are fucked and you're dangerous because I don't know what you're capable of. So my like protective mode kicks in and I'm like, stay the fuck away from me and my family because I don't know what the fuck you're capable of. You know what I mean?
I do think that he is capable of like really, really bad stuff, even just based off the interaction I have with him.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I had an interaction with him, and I'm not even gonna get into like some of the things he said, but because he's it was out of nowhere, and it was clearly he was off his meds, and this actually was not a funny encounter at all. I left that feeling really uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, a lot of this isn't like you know, obviously with friends, like you'll joke about things, and like especially when you're living in it, like Lauren and I will joke about things, but it's because you're in it and you're experiencing it and you're living in it. You know what I mean?
And
versus
it's a way
like
to handle things. Yeah,
exactly. Like you're like, oh fuck, he's doing this again. You know what I mean? It's like obviously because we hear this every goddamn night, so it's like you need to poke fun at it and be like, oh, he's at it again. Or something like that.
Yeah, for yourself. Just for yourself. It's like...
Because I would rather do that than live in fear.
Right, exactly. Or take it like too serious to the point where it's like, you have to take it serious, but like, you've got to... It's a way to feel better about it at least. And it's not like this, it's not a high school fucking thing. Like this is just life, man.
But this like also is kind of like some serious shit that we experienced with this guy.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And I feel... And anyone who out there who like has dealt with this, you know exactly where the fuck I'm coming from with like... Especially when it's a neighbor, right? So a neighbor isn't like a friend or a family. So they're a stranger to an extent. And you don't know what goes on inside their house, what they're thinking about. The last thing I wanted is to be a thought in his head. You know what I mean? I didn't want him thinking about me or my family at all. I wanted to not exist in his reality, you know? Because I don't want his delusions or anything aimed at us in any way, shape, or form, whether they're good or bad. Because... that's just, you're playing with fire. But tell your story, because I'm curious, because you haven't told me this. Yeah,
I haven't told you this, and I'll probably get in more detail, because I just don't know if it's important, these details for the... I don't know what's too much and what's too not. But I was going for a run, and he was outside, and he had a cigarette behind his back, and then I'm running past his house, and he goes, "Hey, can I talk to you for a sec?" And I was like, "What's that? Can I talk to you for a sec?" And like he's been in thought, he's got this whole thing, and he's trying to ask someone's advice or opinion on something. I was like, sure. So I walk up to him. I'm still on the sidewalk right in front of his house. He walks up to me. He starts asking me like, how much damage do you think you could do with a wooden spoon to a 4-year-old girl's head?
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm assuming a lot. And he's like, exactly. Blah blah blah, and he starts like he had this whole mental illness train of thought thing going on where he was like, it didn't make sense, but it was essentially that he was upset that someone called him a crack baby, and he was talking about self-harm that he had done to himself with a fucking knife and like a big knife, and like that he tried to do some really bad things, and also then I noticed as he's telling me these things. And he was talking about like abuse that he'd gone through as a child, like out of nowhere with no context, no bridge to any of this, just bop, 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 all these incredibly inappropriate things to tell anyone who you don't know,
right?
Like a random fucking stranger who ran by you, and I was just like, oh my fucking God. And it was a really weird vibe. Like I didn't know if he was going to fucking pull out a gun and just shoot me right there. Like it was super weird. And his back window, I noticed, had a big hole in it. Like he had just smashed it with something.
Of his car?
Of his car, yeah, back left, he had a big smash, and I was like, And then I was like, we got a fucking doctor's appointment to go to, so I gotta get going. And then he's like, no, I know, but listen to this. And then he would go on more, and I was like, right. And I was like, okay, yeah, I really gotta go and and then I tried to leave him with like a little nugget of like positivity. I was like, but like, you gotta stay positive, man. You know, it's all you can do is try to like not think about any of that stuff and just try to be happy and positive. And then I walked away. You know what I mean? But it was like, it was fucked. It was such a wild experience. I was like, oh my God, man. I didn't realize it was that bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like coherent almost.
No.
Not coherent, but
well, it's like
more coherent. Like he had more opinions and rage, and was scattered all over the place, and it was incoherent, but it was more intense than I imagined. I thought it was more just like, that guy's just, he's a little crazy. He's a little weird. He's just doing his own thing. But like that dude's very like, he will involve you in his world, and you are in it.
That's
and
the thing
it was
too.
Super
like,
weird and dangerous feeling. Like,
and also, especially with such threatening things that he's talking about, how much damage could you do with a 4-year-old girl's head?
Oh yeah, immediately I was like, dude, what are you gonna
like
fucking
and
do,
shit
bro?
like that right there. You don't want to get involved in that, and you shouldn't have to, and don't get involved in that. If you're with like ever interact with somebody like that, get away from that. Like, don't subject yourself to that. You know, like obviously this guy needs help, and it sucks that he doesn't have it. But at the end of the day, like I said, you know, because when we first lived there for maybe the first year or so, it was more like, you know, he would say things when he was out front and stuff, and I'd be coming home or something, and he would try to start some small talk that would then quickly lead to like deep personal things that it was just oversharing, you know, and I've just been like, I would just kind of try to like, you know, make my way away and not get involved in it. And then as it got more aggressive and more volatile, and then things where police are involved and him walking around the neighborhood with a fucking airsoft gun, which obviously it's an airsoft gun, but the terror is still there.
Oh, the terror is there. You see someone with a gun, you're like, oh,
yeah,
that
no
person's
fucking
bad.
way. Yes.
That person's a bad guy.
Yes. So
and he acts like a bad guy.
When
like,
shit like that starts
to
happening, then I like I said, you know, the empathy starts to be replaced with protection and defense. And
yeah,
I'm like,
protection.
And I'm like,
defense,
no,
and
because
coping
I no
mechanisms.
longer know what this man is capable of, and I want to keep my fucking distance, and I want to be aware of this guy and not involved with this guy. And yeah, I mean, that was like one of, you know, we had been wanting to move for a while. But that was definitely like, as things got really bad towards the end, that was like a last straw type of thing. Cause you just don't need that, you know? And I mean, there was a sign outside of his house that he hung up in the front of his house, and it said, FYI, I am God here.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't just put that up anywhere, ever, anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't put that up anywhere.
It's such a weird sign. I can't believe that sign even exists, bro.
Oh,
like,
bro,
that's such a
you
weird...
can have any, you need a sign, I can get a sign for you.
Can you get me that sign?
Yeah.
Because FYI, I am God here.
Right. Here, beyond the pine, I am God here.
I am God here.
But yeah, I mean, that's it pretty much.
Yeah. Wild, bro.
It was wild. And it was like 3 years of that, of living next to that. And, you know, then the last thing you want is to feel any sort of anxiety in your own home. Your home is supposed to be your safe place, your comfort zone, your personal space, right? The last thing you want is to feel anxiety or fear in your own home. So that's where I draw the line, and I say, no. Like,
I said to James, I said, no, James. You're out of here, brother. As much as I want you around, get the fucking heck out of here, dude.
Yeah, dude, Kib ran me out of town.
I said, get lost, dude, idiot.
He said,
loser.
get the
Come on.
out of here.
Get out of here, man. What?
Kib doesn't curse
What are you
anymore.
doing? What the? Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get me all heated bothered. Hey, get out of here. That gets me all bothered up, man.
Oh, you've got me all bothered up.
I'm getting upset, aren't I? Oh, here I go. I'm about to friggin' yell. Oh, darn it.
Well, hey, this
Dude,
is a perfect time to talk about our sponsor. Today's episode of Beyond the Pine is sponsored by Bespoke Post. This summer, Bespoke Post is here to take your adventure to the next level with a brand new lineup of must-have Box of Awesome collections. Bespoke Post partners with small businesses and emerging brands to bring you the most unique goods every single month. No matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From travel and outdoor gear to breezy summer styles and grooming goods, Box of Awesome has collections for every single part of your life. So there's 2 new Box of Awesome kits that I'm super excited for. First one is the Echo right here, which is a elevated taco kit with all the fixins, all the pieces, bits and bobs that you need to have a really cool, exciting, fancy kind of taco night. And your boy loves tacos. And the other one is the Forge right here, which is this awesome knife. And knives are cool, so of course I'm excited for this one. To get started, take your quiz over at boxofawesome.com, and your answers are going to help them pick the right Box of Awesome just for you. They release new boxes every single month across a ton of different categories. It's totally free to sign up, and you can cancel or skip a month at any time. Each box costs only $45, but it has over $70 worth of amazing stuff inside. You can get 20% off your first monthly box right now if you go to boxofawesome.com and enter code PINE at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com. Code PINE for 20% off. Thank you so much, Box of Awesome and Bespoke Post, for sponsoring this episode. Now back to the show. And we're back, baby, and your boy is back.
Pressing this button now that I've cooled it down 1 degree in here.
Yeah, your boy's back with a beer. Because I needed a beer after that conversation. Because in all honesty, that was a real conversation. And, like, I didn't expect for it, in all honesty, to be, like, emotional in any way. But, like,
I know.
there is truly a semblance of PTSD that I experience when talking about that situation. And, you know, just to clarify, obviously we feel for the guy. And nothing more needs to be said. You know, I said what I had to say about it and my concerns with it and why I chose to react the way that I did to that whole situation. And that's the end of me explaining myself.
Yeah, you got to walk a mile in my shoes to talk about me.
You know, and with mental illness, it's something that both of us are very familiar with, and we've both experienced very personally and intimately with family members. So I think when it comes to reacting to certain mental illnesses, we not only are jaded by it because we've experienced so much of it, but we're also like, we react to it in a way from a place of almost PTSD, you know? And like, and that's a real shit, man. It's traumatic stuff that we both have experienced dealing with severely mentally ill people.
In this specific context too, like all of the way that James is describing this isn't our reaction is not to mental illness as a whole. This is very specifically
Obviously.
This guy in this situation. And yeah, we've both been through it, man. So it's like, yeah.
And it's tough. And in all honesty, you know, like
this is just
if you're struggling with mental illness, because I know that we never wanted to talk about that whole situation necessarily in a humorous way, but we are humorous people and we shed light on a lot of difficult things using humor because that's what we do. But if you're struggling with mental illness, or somebody that you're close with is struggling with mental illness or self-harm or anything like that, there are a lot of resources that you can go to, obviously, to find help, hotlines you can call to find help, advice, anything, and reach out to those. I'll link a few in the description.
Yeah.
And on a lighter note,
of course, you know?
Yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Just like, because of course mental illness is it can be miserable and be hard and affect everyone around you and the people who are loved ones of the person with mental illness, and of course that's so fucking sad for everyone, person with mental illness, the person for people all around. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
It's a tough thing.
You know,
it's a tough thing. I just think it's important to speak about things honestly, and giving my personal experiences with things, I think is an important thing to do. Not to say that I know anything about what the fuck I'm talking about, but to just share experiences and you know, but first and foremost, like, protect yourself, you know, like in everything you do and everyone you interact with, protect yourself. But yeah, on a lighter note,
yourself.
That's not the song.
Protect yourself.
Wait, what is that actual song?
Respect yourself.
Is it Respect Yourself? Suspect yourself.
Prepare yourself.
Neglect yourself.
Shelf yourself.
But on a lighter note, we have some callers.
we have some callers, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to be a caller next week or any week, you can submit your voice or video call recording to beyondthepinemail@gmail.com, and we will not use yours.
Right. And next week's a special week because we got Autumn and Steve. So I better see so many fucking questions for Autumn and Steve and none for me and Kib. I better see none for me and Kib. None for Steve and Autumn. I don't want to see any calls next week.
Not one fucking call for next week. We really tried. We couldn't get anyone to give a fuck, I guess. So.
Yeah, we really tried to get someone to give a fuck.
No one gave a fuck, man. Yeah. Not a single one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hitting us with a call.
Nope.
I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. Come on now, I'm ready.
I'm fucking figuring it out, man. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Sharing.
I'm almost ready. And accepting.
Hey, James and Kib. Amanda, 25. I'm calling from Norway. I would like to first thank you guys for putting out such great content throughout the years. We appreciate and we love you for it. My question is, do you have any childhood memories or stories, either funny or maybe sad or just anything that's really good for a podcast? Also, are you planning on putting out any merch? And if you do, could it be somewhere that EU people can also get it? That's it for me. Stay happy and healthy, lads.
Oh my God, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. First of all, that's a great question for the podcast. Any funny childhood memories or anything? Hey, Amanda, great fucking question. Yep. And I might sound like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. That's a fucking question for the podcast.
And Amanda, might I just add, where are you? Because it looks like you're in heaven right now.
That background is amazing.
The top of a mountain. It's beautiful. Norway. Beautiful, Amanda. Thank you so much. I wish I was where you are right now. James, do you have any funny ones you can pull out of your ass?
Yeah, the answer is no.
Mine will seem like it comes up quicker.
I don't have a single childhood memory.
Okay, I got one for you. So we had 2 fucking cats when I was growing up, and god damn it, I was allergic to them unbelievably so, and we shouldn't have had cats.
You're so allergic to animals.
So fucking allergic to cats. One of my worst allergies. We had horses. I'm so allergic to horses.
Right.
Was never treated for them. Why? Well, maybe I should have been. And we'll bury that. So, one of the cats, one was named Willie and one was named Jack. One of them used to, this is just some random fucking gross story that I remember from time to time, and this is why I don't like cats.
Totally.
That much. Jack would fuck my brother's blanket and come up.
Dude, that's what exactly, like, the second you said, and the cat would fuck, and right when you said that, I was like, please actually be talking about fucking something.
Yeah. It would put the blanket in its mouth, and I'd walk into my brother's room. My brother would be like playing fucking Super Nintendo or some shit, dude, and the cat would just be on his bed, just fucking his bed, and I'm like,
biting it.
Come on, he's fucking and biting and coming on your bed, man.
Biting the blanket in like a sexual way.
Was it? Yes, it was.
Holy shit.
I mean, it was my older brother. And it's just a funny childhood story is all it is. And he's like, just leave him, man. I was like, I'm not going to leave him.
Just leave it. Just leave it.
He's nodding on your bed, bro.
Just leave it. I know. Just leave it.
That's exactly.
What do you mean leave him? I know what's happening. Just leave him.
That's exactly what happened. I never understood why I would leave him.
Because he collected the samples, man.
I suppose so. Sometimes before school, I would go to have a shower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we lived in the country where these cats could go in and out at all times. And then I would go to get in the shower. I would be like, oh, it stinks in here. Open the shower, just a massive fucking shit. In the shower, or the tub for that matter. And then I'm late for school and I have to clean up this massive fucking cow shit of a fucking cat shit, dude. And it was an interesting upbringing I had.
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Just the idea of him
These
being
two
like,
fucking
leave
jacked
it.
him, I know. I know. And
Dude,
God, I love
their
him so
cat's
much.
like nutting on your butt. Just leave him.
Exactly what would happen. I would go, what do you
Dude, your
mean?
brother's a freak. Oh, fuck,
brother.
dude.
I was like, dude, he's coming on your bed. And he's like, just leave him.
Just leave him. I know. Well, what? What do you mean you know? I know. You know?
Yeah, I can see. He's shooting it right now. All over your blanket,
Oh.
man. Gross.
Fucking
Sorry,
yuck,
Amanda.
dude.
I know that was a lot. That was a lot.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Amanda. I have a funny story I just remembered. Speaking of animals, so I loved fucking like hunting lizards when I was a kid and catching lizards and shit.
I loved fucking and hunting lizards when I was a kid.
and nutting on lizards. Oh, fuck. What a thing to
I'm
say,
talking
dude.
about my fucking fat-tailed gecko like that.
So I would always hunt lizards, right? I would go, we go to parks and shit, go on hikes. And I must have been, 10 or so. And I would always try to catch lizards and shit. Just to know I
Killed them-
could.
You killed them and played with their insides, right?
Yeah, I would smear and I'd paint pictures on the wall in their blood.
Pictures of other dead lizards.
This one.
Dude, you almost fucking threw up on the end of that one, man.
That was a good
The
burp,
tail
man.
end of that one had
I
a
needed
fucking
that.
surprise, dude.
I needed that burp.
you
But
did.
so I remember at this one park I always used to go to. It's called Nat Park in the Valley. And it had like this upper area to it where there was like an old baseball field that no one ever used, right? And there was like the public restroom areas that was also like abandoned, like no one ever went up there. And so I was exploring up there and shit.
What else?
And on the wall of the public bathroom, like on the outside short wall, there was a lizard that was huge. And I'm a kid, right? So if I saw it now,
it
it's
was
probably
a very normal size.
it's probably 6 or 7 inches, like a normal fucking
Yeah,
dick.
yeah.
I mean lizard.
big fucking tiny ass lizard dick, man.
Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
the perfect challenge. And I went up to go catch it. And, when you
perfect
catch
challenge.
a lizard, just smash it against the wall. So I went up to it, right? And the key, like,
challenge.
dude,
The perfect lunch.
the perfect lunch. I've become hungry. So, like you do with snakes and lizards, when you catch them, and don't catch snakes unless you like know how to catch snakes and it's not a venomous snake, you try to grab it at its neck, right? Like right behind its head so it can't turn around and bite you, right?
Of course.
So I go up to the snake, or the snake, to the lizard slowly, and I would always do this thing where I would distract it with my other hand. I would like put my hand in front of it.
Ah! Ow!
Dude.
Fuck!
So I would, I would
thought he was
distract it.
taming the snake. But then he'd go grab it. Dude, fucking tamed it.
Dude. Just grab it. So anyways,
Get bit
so I
instantly.
grabbed the fucking snake. I mean, this lizard, man. I grabbed the fucking lizard by its neck, but I went and I pick it up, but I grabbed it too low. And so it just went like this. It just fucking turned its head around and bit my finger. And I was like, ah! And it was hanging on my finger, fucking biting my finger. And I was like, ah! And I literally went, because I was terrified, man.
So fucking funny.
And I just fucking, I threw it into a bush.
No, man, it died and you know it and you blocked it out, man. It's
No, it
fucking
died,
bad.
and and you made sure it did.
That's so fucking
And I just fucking
freak.
shook it off, and I was like, ah! And then I just was like, the fuck?
I didn't want that to
Okay,
happen.
where's the next lizard?
Immediately off to it.
Oh. That's so funny. Oh man, let's think of more stories, dude. You have another story?
Oh God. I have so many fucking stories of childhood I never think about. One time, my fucking we had this island called Skull Island, and it was like
With
So I
King
lived in the
Kong.
forest on 100, literally
The one
on
that King Kong
150
lives on.
acres of land, and it was like a 45-minute hike down this like private trail that was owned by fucking whoever. And there's hunting camps and you're in the middle of fucking forest. It's
That's
beautiful.
amazing.
And then you get to a really private lake that like only some people, like very few people, have property out there. And then we shared a cottage with someone down there, and we had a little rowboat, and you go down this channel, this like skinny little channel from this little lake to an even bigger lake. And then there was this little like beautiful oasis rock island that I would take my friends to camp on, and it was the best because we go fucking get drunk and high and fucking.
That sounds
we'd chop
so
down
dope,
trees
dude.
and make forts and have bonfires.
All right, guys, we're gonna chop down every tree on this island.
Literally, we would spear hunt fish. Never caught one like
Right.
that, but it was just the best.
That
boys'
sounds
time
so
ever.
fucking dope, dude. We need to go camping, man. Like
I know,
real
I'm
camping.
so down. Any fucking time I'm down.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Next weekend.
I might be watching my sister's dog.
No, it's never happening then. So one time I decided we would ride our horses down to the fucking lake sometime, so it wouldn't be a 45-minute, 2-hour to hike.
Right.
One time I had my boys out there, and my ex-stepdad at the time, who was a fucking freak.
The guy that used to make you work out in weird ways.
Yeah. Well, he was in the Quebec Olympics for MMA. He was
That's
very
crazy.
fucking good. Yeah, that's why I'm fucking sight. Hip hip punch. So we would go down the lake, and he was down there on his fucking horse, and he was a really short guy too, believe it or not. And he was on.
And
his
so the
fucking
horse looked
and
huge.
And he had a mullet, by the way. He was
Oh my
very
god.
country.
And so he would
Yeah,
be
he had
like
a mullet.
majestically fucking
Yes,
riding.
100%. Sometimes shirtless.
Oh my god, dude.
Like,
what a
literally,
character.
That was my stepdad.
We need to
at the
base a
time.
character
Never-
off of
He was
that.
never my stepdad, but literally
Your mom's boyfriend?
classic. Yes, yeah. But
So he was
it's
your
like
mom's
weird.
boyfriend.
Yeah, but it was yeah,
Sure.
pretty much, but more than that ish. Apparently,
He was my biological father.
well, he was super weird. He was an alcoholic for sure.
For
drunk all
sure.
the time.
Oh, for sure.
Me and my friends get in the fucking tin boat, and he's already fucking wasted, and he would laugh like a maniac, like like just a fucking freak, man.
Like wild man, dude.
But he was very funny. He was very funny. So let's keep that in mind.
Sure.
We're boating down the little channel.
He sounds abusive.
Yeah, he was. We were boating down the.
Yeah,
boating down
bro.
the channel, on our way to go camping. Me and a couple of my friends who like it might have been their first time I brought them out to Skull Island. It was like a thing. It was like you go to fucking Clay's gonna bring you to fucking Skull Island and fuck you. So dude, that was my own island,
Yeah,
like Epstein's
dude.
island. I had
Oh my
own island.
god. Fuck, bro. That's tight.
So we're going. I don't know. This is like, it's fun. It is funny. Like if my friends who are
It doesn't have to be funny. It's just childhood
we'd
stories.
be laughing. It is sort of. I think it's a funny story.
Okay.
But it's
I'll be the
crazy.
judge.
I mean, it's not that crazy. Yeah. So we're in this like tin rowboat rowing down this channel, and he's on his fucking horse with his shirt off and his fucking brown mullet, driving around drunk as fuck on the horse, and he's got rocks
In
he's-
deep water,
he's
swimming
whipping
with the
rocks at
horse.
us. Dude, he's fucking throwing rocks at us in the fucking. Literally handfuls of rocks. He like got off his horse and was just like laughing and fucking maniacally.
Throwing rocks at you. What the fuck? What a fucking simpleton, dude.
Like it was obviously that's funny even for us, but he was actually throwing them. We were like laughing. It was like
He was trying to kill you guys.
No, he thought it was hilarious. Like he was fucked up like
Dude,
that.
he was
where
just like, yeah, he was
he
so
had
fucked
a
up and
20-year-old
just
son who was there, too, who was
negligent.
cool. Yeah.
Like,
he was
like
fucked
he,
up for
he
sure.
dude, literally, if he was ever arrested for that, you know what that would be arrested for?
Child abuse, child endangerment,
Child endangerment, just like Drake fucking Bell.
just like Drake Bell. But the thing is, it was funny, and then there's also a part of you that's like, this is actually too much.
Yeah, you're throwing.
You know what I
Hey, you're
mean?
throwing rocks.
Hey, you're pelting me and my friends with rocks.
Yeah,
and it's hitting all of
and
us.
they're hitting our heads.
But like, I still think that that's so funny.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Like, that would be a scene in a
Fucking
movie,
his
dude.
Mullet, laughing his ass off, throwing handfuls of fucking rocks at us.
Dude, I'm
Like,
writing that down
holy
because that's a hilarious character.
I have so many of those stories and so many stories involving him that are just as fucking funny, bro. Like one time there was a fucking fight at our house, and my like mom's like just friend, childhood friend, had a boyfriend, and he was there, and fucking my mom's ex-boyfriend, this guy, actually got in or his son, who was like 23 at the time, who also like fought in the ring and like competitively did MMA and stuff like that. He's a fucking animal. It's crazy to think that I'm 3 years older than him now because he seemed like a grown up when I was 16. I was 16 at the time. He fucking.
And he was 13.
He was 23.
Oh,
and
now you're 3 years older
fight.
than what he was at the time.
Yes, right now.
Gotcha. Now I get it. Because at first, I thought you meant
he was 13.
I didn't know. And it's crazy because I'm 3 years older than him.
He got in a fucking fight outside because they would just have like little drinking barbecue nights, and my mom's friend's boyfriend was there, and he's like 43 years old, like bigger guy, slow moving, really nice. But the ex, I don't want to use names, but I guess I kind of could.
No, you don't have to.
Corey, 23-year-old Corey, MMA fighter, absolute animal, peak shape. Like, I would spar him all the time, and he would fucking hurt me, and I got him one time. I fucking got him. It was amazing. Fucking loser, get wrecked. He drunkenly, like, didn't like this guy for some reason. He's 43-year-old man, and fucking pushed him through a wooden balcony and broke it, and he fell in the fucking garden. Like, these people are psychopaths, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Like, yeah. Like, that was the reality that I grew up in.
That's fucking hilarious.
And I was just like, what the fuck happened, man? Like, no, fucking cool.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
It was just a weird world, man. A very weird world. And that's how that fucking guy is how he took me to get my first tattoo when I was 16. The big fucking guitar on my back. The biker tattoo that I have, because he was also in a very well-known biker gang.
Nice.
That everyone knows.
Fucking solid. Which one? Can you say?
Look, I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
He took me to get that biker tattoo that I have, that I got when I was 16. That I went to a biker shop to get.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Little insight to some of my upbringing.
That's amazing. Amanda, you had another question about merch. We have thought about doing merch, a new shirt or something. So that's a hard maybe.
Never executed.
Yeah, but I also wanted to say, and I responded. Somebody emailed me, or emailed Beyond the Pine mail, asking if we had any extra merch left over, and I actually have. From moving, I realized I have a bunch of old SP7 merch. Like some of it
for triple the price.
Some of it's still in the fucking package, like in the plastic, but some of it's not. But it's like hasn't been worn. So I'm like thinking, and I would want some help with this, whether it's you or somebody else, doing some sort of giveaway or some sort of like charity thing, raise some money for charity, by selling that merch. Because I don't want to just sell it and like keep the money. I think that's weird, kind of. Especially since it's like old merch. It's like a special thing, you know what I mean? So
that's not weird, but we can totally like charity. That'd be amazing.
I would rather do the older stuff for charity, just because I think that's cool, and like that'd be a nice thing to do, and like for a good cause, and like, but because we'll have future merch hopefully that we will keep the money for. Yeah, so maybe we can plan something with that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm down anytime.
No.
Charity's not really my thing.
Yeah, you don't like that. Okay.
No.
And we have another call.
Watching.
Hey guys, Chance here from the not so beautiful South Carolina.
What's up, Chance?
Yee and whatnot. I just wanted to say, really love your guys' content. Been watching it for a long time. The podcast helps me get through my shitty day at work all the time, and I really appreciate that. All of us that listen really appreciate all y'all's do. We appreciate y'all's unique comedy, sense of humor. It really hits a lot of us because there's not a lot of content out there that quite has the unique humor like y'all have.
Thank you.
I've actually struggled with anxiety and depression. Last year, my father passed away,
I'm sorry, man.
which was, pretty rough, especially in the midst of all the, COVID restrictions and lockdown and, and stuff like that. And your podcast, really helped me get through it. So I'll always be grateful for that. So don't ever for 1 minute think that what y'all do doesn't help a lot of people, because it does. A few short months after all that happened, I actually found out I'm going to be having identical twin boys, which is great. It's fantastic. Can't wait. They're actually due in about a month and a half to 2 months.
Wow.
So that brings me to my question. Do do y'all ever plan, or do y'all want to have kids in the future? Whether that be close future or far future. And the news of me having my babies, especially here recently, has helped me kind of get my shit together. Real solid. I want to make sure that everything's in order for them to have the best life possible. So my follow-up question to the first one is, do y'all think that having babies is going to change y'all's mindset? Do you think much is going to change in y'all's lives if y'all do plan on having babies? And how you think, things will change after that. But, keep up all the good work, the content, keep it coming. We love it. Feed it to us. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. See you.
Wow. Chance.
First of all,
you're
Chance,
amazing, man.
you're
Thank
sweetheart.
you so much for saying that, and truly so sorry to hear about your dad, man. That's a really hard thing, obviously, to deal with. When I lost my grandma, it was like one of the hardest things ever, and I feel for you, my dude. But it sounds like you're on a good path, and you're getting yourself positive, and I mean, having kids brought into the world too, I'm sure is a light.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah.
I'm so fucking proud of you, man. Good. I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you. I think you're going to be a great dad, because it sounds like you know what's up, and you have a good head on your shoulders, and you have a good sense of awareness, and you're, and truly, man, like, congratulations. That's so exciting.
Just hearing you say like my babies, or you said my girls or something like that. Did you say twin girls?
Twin babies.
Just twin babies. You just said my babies or something like that. And I was like, yeah, you're gonna be the best dad.
Yeah.
I could just hear it in your voice.
You're having twins, dude.
I'm so excited.
You're having twins.
That's amazing. Wow.
That's incredible. Like that's
you are
that's
on
exciting.
The right track
that's an adventure, man. That's the next that's the next chapter. That's the next adventure. And like, you're gonna raise those kids. And it's so funny because I think about Franco, who just had a kid, and like, you get to play with that kid, teach that kid, like expose that kid to life and like the
That's
world.
What James did to his kids.
What?
You did all that for your kids.
Yeah, and it was great. And I mean, I regret it.
I regret having kids, obviously, but yeah, man, I will say that I definitely want kids. I will definitely be having kids in my life, dude. I feel like part of me was born to be a dad. Like, that's just part of what I was meant to do. Was definitely
eventually.
I don't think so. Let's not copy my answer, James.
Same.
I was meant to be a dad. Same. Just doubles down. Same. I was definitely meant to be a dad, and yeah, man. As soon as I'm fucking where I want to be in my fucking life, man, I'm hunting down kids. You know what I mean?
And what?
I'm hunting down kids. I'm gonna start. Oh, you meant like birth them? I wanted to just like
hunt them.
Yeah, like Manhunt, the movie.
Right.
But for kids. Of course.
Yeah, I definitely want to have kids eventually. Lauren and I have obviously talked about that. We both want to have kids eventually. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's an interesting concept. I have a couple friends who have had kids, and they always kind of say, because I look at it as like, yeah, I want to have my shit together. I want to be at like this place in life or whatever. But then a lot of them have said
you're
like,
never gonna.
You never get to that place until you find out you're having kids, and then like something clicks, and you man up or you woman up, and you show up for those kids, and you make it happen, because if you're having a kid, it's your responsibility to take care of that kid. You know what I mean? And
I definitely think something changes. Like, it's biological.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Like, that's just it happens. And some people are like, I'm never gonna have kids because I don't want kids. I'm not ready.
And that's fine.
Or I don't think I'll ever want kids.
And you don't have to. You don't have to have kids. You absolutely.
But also,
do
if
not
you
have
have
to
kids, boom, you want kids. Like you know what I mean? I mean, some people are too selfish. There are people that are just too selfish to have kids.
Yeah, and then they have kids, and then they become bad parents.
Yeah, exactly. And those are
bad parents.
You have to recognize: am I too selfish? Am I willing to make my whole life about someone who's not me?
Yeah, and like
my needs aren't.
Also,
priority.
Chance. One thing I want to say, man. Being a father, you being a father. I'm not a father.
Being a father.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're not perfect. You'll never be perfect. You're not supposed to be perfect. You do the best that you can, and you treat those kids with love. Everything that you do for them is out of a place of love. then you will do great.
Be their parent, don't be their friend.
And that's what Kib thinks.
Sean,
but yeah, I
we love
mean,
you.
you say John?
I said Sean.
His name's Chance. Wait, is it?
Sean, we love you. It is Chance, yeah.
Is
You
it?
stepped on my... You bit my joke, dude.
Is
You
this
bit a hole in it.
Wait a minute. Yeah,
It's
Chance.
Chance. Yeah,
Okay,
you bit a hole in my
no,
fucking
that's
bit.
funny because it says Tristan's iPhone.
Oh, he did it on someone else's iPhone, I think. Isn't that easy to think about?
Isn't that an easy thing to happen? Well, yeah. That's so funny. Oh, he did it on someone else's iPhone. Isn't that funny to think about? Oh, well, Chance, yeah, man. Fucking stoked for you, dude. Keep us updated,
So
dude.
stoked
Let us
for
know
you.
how it goes.
If you need godparents...
They're huge!
James and I will be your godparents.
They're 50 pounds! When they're born.
ready.
And that's it. Thank you for Amanda, and thank you to Chance for asking us those amazing questions. Those were 2 great questions. Like, that's the type of questions we want. Maybe. We're also down for whatever.
Yeah, those ones actually kind of pissed me off.
Yeah,
if I'm
Kib's
being
pissed about that.
perfectly honest.
But I'm stoked, and I'm grateful that you guys love us, because we love you. And when you reciprocate love, the world continues to spin. And if you don't reciprocate love, the world stops. So it's up to you.
And it burns.
Oh, it burns.
Oh, it burns.
So yeah, if you want to send us a message, please email us at beyondthepinemail@gmail.com. Send us an audio or video message so we can play it on the pod. Like we said, next week we got fucking Steve and Autumn.
Episode 200, be
two
there.
fucking bangers of guests, dude. Episode 200, fucking be there. First of all. Second of all, we love you.
Third of all, where does it look like we go from here? Let us know.